This is take 2. So, I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere. Now I'm not on the side of the street because there's too many cars and homeless people. How these videos are going to work, I have Notepad on my phone. I have bullet points. And I'm going to say my thoughts on them. No rehearsing, no nothing. I could consider this one rehearsed since I've done one take. And I fumbled over my words a lot. It was really embarrassing, so I'm not going to share that. So, on my script or quote-unquote script, it says, our topic of the day, mental health and gay people. Now, I'm not really too educated on gay people. I'm bi, so that's my education. But I don't really know, the community. I know somewhat of the full acronym, the updated acronym. It's super long. But, this is a really interesting place to talk about it because I'm right next to a church. I'll get on that another day. Actually, no, I'll do it as a bonus of this one. I'll treat you guys since it's my first one. So, bullet point number 1, gay culture. Now, from my understanding, culture is a unique thing a group of people do. For example, nobody else except my family or people in my household visit my mother's aunt on Halloween. You could say that they're trick-or-treaters, but they don't exclusively do it or, only go for it. So that's our little thing. So you could say gay culture would be being into the same sex or same gender. And you could also say it's a collective of things, but you can't just say, well, all gay people do this. Or, it'd be stupid. So I guess that's the first bullet point. So second one, lack of knowledge. Now, what could I mean by this? So, I've talked to a handful of gay people. I'm a little bit of a gay person myself. So I've noticed from my experience, which is maybe 10, 20 people from what I've witnessed, have an extreme lack of knowledge on things. Now, Marley, you could say, Marley, being gay does not define knowledge. And I'd say you're completely correct, but this is my channel. I talk about what I want to. So, what do you mean by lack of knowledge? Well, even I, a bi person, how do I even start this? I'm not too knowledgeable, and I seek knowledge, but about things regarding gayness, I don't know shit. I don't know if it's a prerequisite for being gay to know a lot about gayness. Do I have to know the full acronym? Do I have to do all that, or do I have to specifically like boys? But I think it's just overall, people nowadays aren't really too knowledgeable. I don't think they're stupid. Now, my definition of stupid is refuses to learn. I don't, you could be the smartest thing in the universe, but if you know everything and refuse to learn, after a certain point, it's going to be, there's no point. So, I think someone willing to learn is very smart. I think. So, by that definition, I think a lot of people nowadays refuse to learn, which is somewhat me, because I'm a little bit stupid. Next point, bad fetishes. Now, I don't know the full definition of a fetish. Actually, I'm going to Google it right now, because I don't want to speak about something that I barely know about. Alright, Google, fetish. A form of sexual desire in which gratification is strongly linked to a particular object or activity, or a part of the body other than the sexual organs. So, what could I be saying? From my definition, from my experience, I've witnessed a lot of fetishes within the, gay people community, or, just gay people in general. I've noticed that every single one of them has a fetish of some sorts. It could be hands, feet, mouths, spit, people I know, trash bags, a whole sort of things. But I've noticed, it's most prominent within the gay community. It's very interesting. I don't know what could have caused this. Maybe it's sexual deviancy. The gay community is more open, so they'll tell you about these things instead of straight people being I don't want to tell everybody that I'm into feet. It's not going to be something I'm known by. That's just my opinion. But if you're a upstanding citizen and you're gay, you might not just tell everybody, hey, I'm into feet, hands, bellies, But I can't yuck other people's yums because my yums are just as bad. Next bullet point, no respect/decency. I've noticed with most gay people I've talked to. Now, someone named Pin is going to say, well, Marley, you associate with people who have none of this, and by that I tell you to shut up. You could say it's freedom, but decency and freedom are kind of like two different things, because you can be free and decent, but it's like human constructs are so weird to me. Like, you can't really define them, you know? Or maybe I'm just dyslexic, but I think that within the gay community there's a lot of indecency. You know, I shouldn't know that somebody's into feet within a month of knowing them, or within a few weeks, or within a few days. I don't want to know you're into feet or hands. And respect, that's an interesting one, because, well, with such a sexual community, you'd think there's a lot of respect, like, hey, we're gay, but we respect each other in the fact that we will not be disgusting and we will respect boundaries. No, there's not too much traditional values within the gay community. Next one, social rejects. What do I mean by this? Well, it's the sort of people that get picked on and think, if I migrate to another community, people will like me. No, you need to work on yourself. Next one, porn addiction. Need I say more? Sexual community, sexual things. You know, I can't hold them because I'm 17 years old and I've grown up learning what my willy has a second function for, you know? So, next one, constant downer energy. Now, the gay community is full of people who, like, are very great, very fun to be around. But I've noticed a smaller subcommunity full of people who leech off of your energy. Now, what do I mean by energy? Well, let's say my energy right now, I want to talk, I want to rant. I want to talk about things. I'm ready to share myself with the world. I'm splooging it out for all you guys to listen to, right? Well, let's say I'm happy. Well, someone who's a downer, who wants to, you know, get further based off of your energy, is going to be like, wow, Marley, that's so cool. Can I be around you more? And then dry text that only wants me to give them, but they won't contribute anything back, you know? It makes me upset. Next one, thinking self-harm is cool. This is not specific to gays, but I've noticed it a lot within gays, I mean like full LGBTQI spectrum. It's not just gays. But within my experience, you know, primarily gays. But thinking self-harm is cool. In the modern day, people's hopes are low, mine included. But harming yourself is not okay. It is bad. You should not do it. It will not solve your problems. So, people will make jokes and be like, ha ha ha, I'm doing bad things. I'm drinking Monster every day. I'm not working out. I don't brush my teeth, you know. I'm disgusting. I'm a freak. Guys, get it? You should have mercy for me. No, that is gross. Next one. Oh, joking about self-harm / the R word for attention. Same one as last one. But the R word, I don't know why people think nowadays it's okay to talk about. I've had people tell me, you should R word me. No. It's gross. I don't like it. You're gross. And any person who's a victim of that, well, I could speak on that too. We will tell you it's not fun. It's not something that puts a smile on your face in the bedroom. Respect is a great thing, and so is consent. So something is wrong with you if you believe this. I hate to say it. Next one, hookup culture. I'm still a virgin, but I could still speak on this a little bit. People within such a sexual community like to think with their willies and not their heads. So someone who's known me for like a few weeks would be like, yeah, I think Marley's a great person to hook up with, even though I have no idea if he has STDs. He might give me blue waffles, you know. Stupid things. There's an ant on my lip. Get the fuck out of my lip. Anyways, next one. Liking the idea of someone else, but not actually them. What does this mean? Well, let's say I'm in love with The Rock, and I think he's such a cool person, and I keep thinking about him, but I'm going to keep going until I fall in love with another person that is not The Rock. Now, a more realistic example that does not sound as stupid as whatever I just made would be, I like a female, but this is really hard to put it, but I like the idea of being with her more than actually being with her. I want me a fat lady, I want me all this. But when I actually meet her in person, I'm like, wow, She's ugly. No. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. So within, how is this applicable to the gay community? Well, let's say I'm gay. Let's say I'm a bottom, I'm a sub. I want me a big masculine man. I'll meet a guy and I'd be like, wow, he's so tough and all that. And I'll fall in love with the idea that he's tough. And so when I first meet him, I'll be like, whoa, where's this tough guy that I fell in love with? And yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Next one, unhealthy attachment. This one I have a lot of emotions to, because people nowadays, they're so lonely, and especially within the gays, because you're trying to, you're putting your full self out there. You're different, you're being unique. So, you're gonna be strongly attached to this. It's kind of like making a character. You're gonna be strongly attached to it. So when you find this one thing that's unique, it fits, he's gay too, he's fun to talk to, they cling to them extremely hard. Now, I somewhat have this problem. I do like to be close to people I'm familiar with, but I've seen people and experienced people who do not let go no matter what, still to this day type shit, and it's been years. So that's something. Laziness. What do I mean by laziness? Well, I'm not gonna say being a couch potato, because life has its ups and downs. If you criticize yourself for being lazy, why don't you criticize yourself for doing too much? That's what I have to say. But in this case, we're talking about people refusing to be better. Now, this is something that I can hold myself to, because I used to be 210, no friends, no nothing. I didn't talk to people. And I still somewhat am like that. Well, no, I lost a lot of weight, but still trying to make improvements. This is my personal opinion. I do not like people who refuse to make progress as individuals. What do you mean by this? Someone who's fat but doesn't want to work out but will complain about it. If you're fat and you don't give a shit, that's cool. But if you're going to complain about it and not make any progress, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you either going to shut up or you're not going to bitch at me? Respectfully. Now, next bullet point. Gay/trans for others, not identity. What could I mean by this? Let's say I come out the closet as trans, but I only do it for the leverage of being female or leverage of being male. I'm male, let's say I'm male to use the male's bathroom, nothing else. I'm a fucking creep, That's an extreme example, but another one would be for social status. Let's say my life would be so easy if I was a female, so I'm going to be a female. That's pretty much what I'm talking about, Next one, mentally unstable people with communities. Now, this one is a very specific one, pointed at a few people, but I've noticed it primarily within the gay hemisphere, let's say. I've noticed a small trend with people who are mentally unstable owning communities. Now, if you are mentally unstable, you cannot, not be insufferable or lash out at other people, you should not own a community. And I've started noticing that there's a lot of people with this issue who own communities. Enough said. Gays who only see others as sexual objects. Now, this one's kind of self-explanatory, but I've noticed within this sexual community that people think primarily with their penis. Or, I don't know, fuck. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. Can I say this word? Roblox resetting packs. If you oof, I oof. I've noticed this a lot within the gay community. I don't know what else to say about it. I just don't like it. Next one, cult of personality. Just imagine Belle Delphine, but for gay people, and that's pretty much what it is. Next one, the military/extreme niches. I've noticed within the gay community, there's a lot of talented individuals, and they either fill this extremely niche thing that's so cool, or the military. I've never liked the military or any government authority or job, but congrats for them, I can't just yuck someone else because they do something I don't like. It's what makes the world go round. And there's an ant in my sock. Next one, pick-me's. I've never really heard anybody else talk about this, but I've noticed that there's a lot of people within the gay community. You know how straights have girl pick-me's, guy pick-me's? Well, for gays, there's guy pick-me's, aka femboys. Now, this may make a few people mad, but, femboys are not primarily for, fetishization / pleasure. And the people who are femboys for, sexual things, I like to call them pick-me's, because they will go out of their way to make it so everybody knows they're one. And that's cool and all, but if you're promoting a sexual thing, I don't know, I think that's pretty pick-me. Like, going out of their way to force their voice, do all that, that's pick-me behavior. That's just my opinion. Next one, underage idiots. Let's say I'm 14, I come out as gay. First thing I do, go talk to people older than me. No. Next one, furries. Furries are a big component of being gay. Or that's what I think. You could be gay and not be a furry, but I primarily talk to furries, so I think they're pretty cool. Yeah, they're just pretty prominent within being gay. Like, almost all furries are gay. Someone's probably mad at me for saying that, but that's pretty much what I've seen. Top/bottom culture, parentheses, sub and doms too. Now, I don't really like this type of culture, but it's whatever. I think relationships are a two-way bridge, but, I don't know. When you say you're a top, people expect such an angry, vulgar man, or, just a regular average dude. There's no in between. And that kind of blends in with the R-word thing, too. They're going to see it, a strong man's ooh, I might want him to R-word me because I'm a disgusting, incel, inbreed piece of shit, And then we also have the top culture. I want a femboy. Or a girl. I want a femme girl, or strong masculine female. And, if it also plays into that, I like the idea of them more than being with them. Yucking others' yums. Now, I say this statement, I say this analogy, but what does it mean? What does it truly mean in the base of it? It means if something likes something and you just dislike it, what's the point of it? Why are you going out of your way to dislike something someone clearly likes? Unless it's, little kids. But if it doesn't harm anyone else, stop yucking it. And that's pretty much the entirety of this video, yucking other people's yums for my entertainment. I don't give a shit. Next one, Christianity/religion. Wow, this one is a pretty sensitive topic because people chew me out for it. I'm going to say what I want to say. I've noticed a lot of people saying God does not like gay people. I don't really know. I don't like to believe in the Bible. I think it is hate speech. That's just what I think. So, being gay and believing in God, let's just say everything in the Bible is true. Something. God doesn't like gay people. So, I don't know. Gay people hate God. God hates gay people or whatever. So, I don't know about this one. Because is there religions where they don't hate on gay people, or is just gay people hated all throughout? I don't really know. I'm not really too educated on the topic of Christianity. Sorry to the church right next to me. I love y'all. I love you all. Gays and anti-gays versus gays. I'm not a bad gay, in quotations. Now, people like to be on the best side of everyone, or, that's the type of person I'm on. I like to be on the best side of everyone. It's by nature. So I've often thrown around the phrase, I'm not a bad gay, or I don't do those sort of things, throwing everybody under the bus. Thus, the gays and anti-gays versus gays. Everybody has to have something to hate, to not like. So why not hate other gay people? Because I'm insecure? I don't know. Next one, gender identity, Zemzer. Now, neopronouns are cool. You want to know why? Because they don't hurt anyone else. If you have 90 neopronouns and that's how you express yourself, cool shit. If you do it for attention, that's not pretty cool. If I know someone who goes by vamp gender, you best believe I'm attempting. What words am I looking for? You best believe I'm addressing them by whatever gender they go by, unless it's too long for me to pronounce, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, do you have any subjugations? Do you have any ways to boil it down so I can reasonably? Or you could be safe and play the they. I usually call people by they that I don't know because I try to be as respectful as possible. Well, I'm no leftist, but That's not a word you can throw at me. So don't call me leftist. I will cry. Next one, leftism/leftist ideology. If you're educated on this, I'm not educated on this. I'm gonna skip this one because I don't want to speak on a group of people I don't know shit about. Racism/rich uneducated gays. Now, rich uneducated people are everywhere. They say stupid shit. Me and my best friend were talking about this. I think this morning. I've lost my grasp of time at this point. Well, what do you mean by rich uneducated gays? Let's say you're a gay person from a rich white suburban neighborhood. You're closeted, you behave practically straight almost all the time. Well, you might have a different picture of the world than everybody else does. And you might say some things like, well, our word doesn't exist, you could just say no. And that's what I'm getting at. They're just rich, uneducated people saying stupid shit. And it pisses me off because I've seen so much of it. On the first part of this, racism. It's pretty prominent within gays. I've met a lot of gays who just straight up call me the N-word. Now, this is a pretty interesting thing to call someone, but I've noticed it primarily within femboys. I'm not saying all femboys are bad people, because I'm pretty sure there's like one good one out there. Shout out to you. But I've noticed it a lot within that like subgenre of gay, or something. I don't really know. It's like a weird form of self-identity. I don't know. I'm not a femboy, but I've noticed a lot of gays, primarily bottoms, just straight up call me the N-word or being extremely racist. They'll claim they're not racist and then call me the N-word. What does that mean? I have no clue. I'm just as confused as you are. Next one, gerontophilia. Now, it's not directly applicable, but I've noticed a lot of people in the gay community and normal people nowadays are extremely attracted to people who are too old for them, aka being 17 and being into a 30-year-old. That's too old. That's just my opinion, though. Do whatever you want, but I think it's weird. I have some close friends who will be like 14, 15, right? Who this guy is speeding. 14, 15, who will be like, oh, I like 20-year-old men. What is wrong with you? You are like, it really upsets me when people tell me that they're like, oh, I flirt with extremely old men online. Like, don't tell me this. Stop. I don't want to know. I don't want to know these things. And if you tell me, I will be extremely upset. Because I feel like you're personally endangering yourself. But that's just my opinion, my strong opinion. Next one, sadists and masochists. Now, this topic I'm pretty educated on. If you know, you know. Now, I don't really like this culture, believe it or not. I think it's bad. I think sadists and masochists are bad. Now, they like always come up with an extreme power dynamic. One wants complete control, one wants to be controlled. Now, I'm not one to judge other people for things they do in the bedroom, but when I have to see it, I don't like it. And I don't really like masochists. So, this is my own personal experience. Next one. Lack of self-respect, or parentheses, if I'm gay, I don't matter, 'cause God. Now, if you ever undermine your worth as a human being, you need to look in the mirror and you need to tell yourself, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm worth everything in this world. Because you are never going to go anywhere unless you have the ambition to be like, hey, I'm worth something. And if you're fat, you're ugly or something, you don't have to brush your teeth. You need to look and be like, I'm worth cleaning up. I am this diamond among the rough. I need to do better. Or you're never going to go anywhere in life, unfortunately. So that's just what I have to say. Next one, forced gay voice / identity. Now, this one kind of plays into the doing it for other people's attention. So, kind of plays in. I'll let this card pass. Let's say I force my voice for other people's, let's say I'm a bottom and I force my voice for attractive men, It's just corny. Quit that. I mean, if you get the huzz, you get the huzz, or whatever people say nowadays. I don't know, it's just a little nitpick. Next one, trying to stick to modern ideals. So, if you're polyamorous, that's cool. If you're not, whatever. But I've noticed people, when they're looking for a reason to not like being gay, they're like, well, it goes against traditionalist ideas. And to that I say, how long are we going to live in this time period where we say, hey, we should go back? Well, to be fair, old music is great. Old culture was somewhat great. Not really. Actually, it was awful. But I don't really know, like monogamy and all that. I think monogamy is great. It's love between two partners. But if not, if it doesn't work for you, don't be shy. Do what you want. Next one, being just as hateful as anti-gays. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, an oppressed people hate the oppressors just as much. So, let's say you're gay and you're like, well, I hate all straight white people who are in the military, have a wife and all that. Well, guess what? You just cut off a lot of people who could be your friends, who could be your benefactors. Don't do that. Remember, yes, you and me are loving people. We do not hate other people, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We don't do that. Next one, positive stuff. Oh, well, I primarily speak negatively, so I left this one in here so I can speak positive. Well, what's positive about being gay? Well, it's not really that much. It's just kind of like a sub-aspect of someone's lifestyle. But some positive things. I'm really making it look bad if I'm thinking about it. But trust me, I'm compiling a lot of positive things. I'm overloaded. Number one. Fuck. If we're talking about the community as a whole, probably like, charity events, helping people come out, express themselves, if you can't ever express yourself, stop, get out of there, get out of that situation, because repressing yourself is only damaging. I've repressed myself pretty much my entire life. This is the freest I've ever been right now. Like in this side of the road, right next to demolition or whatever, I'm as free as can be. And it feels great. When I'm at home and I have to pretend to be another person, it kind of sucks. Why I do it? Don't ask me. I tend to make things a lot about myself, don't I? Next one. I've noticed a lot that, this is going to sound extremely biased, but I've been given or received more charity from gay groups. At my college, they gave me a pride pin. They gave me a pair of gay socks, a gay shirt, and a muffin. I thought that was cool, but I've never received that from no church. But I could also say I've received some enlightenment from one. I went to church a couple times, and they have fed me food. Food is the key to my heart. I love me some food. And I just kind of sound like a piece of shit right now, honestly. But, I can do whatever I want. So, why am I hating on religion? I think religion is cool. Now, I'm gonna go off the track here and talk about religion. I think it is a great thing, 100%. My family members are Christian. I often go into the mental of Christian. I'd say I'm more questioning. I forgot what it's called when you're questioning, agnostic, because I question a lot of things. I question things around me. And I think if religion brings people together, it's great. But if it's used to separate people, I don't really like it. The phrase, there's no hate like Christian love, applies. One of my friends, Christian, we'll just call him Christian, his parents were Christian, or Catholic maybe, and they did not allow him to do shit. The moment he was 18, he came out flamboyantly, beautifully gay. But when he was under that household, he was straight as a whistle. Otherwise, if you're a Christian and you do not spread any hate speech, I love you. I love you. I love you. If you do not push it on other people and be like, you have to do this because God said so, great. You're a great person. Well, you're doing something great. So, next one. Conclusion. These are just opinions, and I speak off experience, not numbers. This is all done in one take. This is all stuff that's hit the top of my head. So if you're offended, please take that into consideration that I'm a 17-year-old standing on the side of the street ranting, all right? I probably not am educated about most of the things I talk about except gays, because I've been bi for as long as I can remember, honestly. People say you can't be gay off birth, but I think I've been bi since birth. I think I was born incorrectly. So, that's my first video. Man, have I gone far in life. I'm going to look back on this and I'm going to cringe super hard. My face is going to shrivel in. But if you've learned any, let's say let's leave a little message for anybody who sat through this entire thing. Let's leave a life expression. What is something I want people who watch this to take? Be yourself no matter the costs. What do you mean by this? Well, I don't know, because I don't really practice what I preach too much. Being yourself is kind of hard, because you're like, well, who is myself? You'll discover it. If you sit down and you're like, what do I like to eat? Well, I like to eat pizza. I've always risked my stomach for pizza, So let's say I like to eat pizza. Well, that's something unique to me. I like to play games all day. I like to be isolated. That's more things about me. And how do I express that? Well, I was born bisexual. So I express it by being bisexual. Just like, if you want to create something, go do it. Don't hesitate. Don't be like, well, damn, fuck. Because you're not going to do it. Be realistic with yourself. Life is a snowball effect. You make that first step and you're out the door. If you don't get out of bed, you're not doing shit. So, do anything to be yourself. If you cannot be yourself in a certain situation, get out of it. It's not going to do you any good. All right. Rant's pretty much over, but I'm glad you guys listened. If you stick this far, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you for listening to my projection on this world. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Good night.